What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks bringing you some battles in the Kanto Cup today, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing 3 different kind of team comps that I've come up with that you could consider running yourself or swapping out some of the Pokemon on the teams that still function fairly similarly. So this first team here, I'm running Shadow, Kanto, Ninetales, Shadow Hypno, and then Alolan Muk in the back. Shadow, Kanto, Ninetales is really kind of an interesting pick. A lot of people have been running it with Ember as the fast move, which is a legacy fast move, so you will need an elite fast TM to get that. Ember does more damage, Fire Spin has slightly better energy generation. Shadow Hypno, honestly the moveset on Hypno is fairly flexible. I'm currently running Fire Punch and Thunder Punch to provide coverage against the water types as well as like any of the Alolan Sand Slashes that you might run into. And Alolan Muk, very flexible Pokemon, so let's jump right into a couple battles utilizing this team here. We're actually in a Kanto Ninetales mirror match here, and my opponent is running Ember. I'm running Fire Spin, so I know that I'm generating an energy slightly faster than them, but if you look at our health bars there, I've received slightly more damage than they have. I'm going to bait with a Weather Ball here, and I do end up getting a shield. I ended up shielding their first move. I'm now able to get to an Overheat. So we're going to throw this Overheat, and it actually goes through, and we're able to win the lead there. They bring out a Lickitung, and I'm just going to let this Lickitung farm me down. I need to guarantee that my Hypno gets to avoid this. So this guarantees that I can bring out my Alolan Muk. Now, the Alolan Muk and Alolan Grimer are both fairly decent responses to the Lick users because Lick is resisted. You're able to hit for neutral damage the entire time, but Lickitung especially, XL Lickitung, and there will be a team featured in this video that utilizes that Pokemon. XL Lickitung is like pretty much the most versatile and best Pokemon in the Kanto Cup just because of its bulk. In the back is a Hypno. I'm going straight for the Acid Spray here, which is actually kind of a lose condition. If they ended up no shielding that would have been very, very scary. This is where not having Shadow Ball on my Hypno is unfortunate here. A lot of people opt to run Thunder Punch and Shadow Ball as like the typical moveset on Hypno. But sometimes having double Elemental Punch can come in clutch and surprise your opponents. We're able to win that first game there. Good game. Okay, Dugong Li, we resist the Ice type damage. So I am staying in this because I'm running Fire Spin. We have the same turn duration as their Ice Shard. I'm going to bait with a Weather Ball here. And this was a CMP tie. And they're going straight for the Water Pulse. I knew that if they threw before I got to the Overheat that they are just at the Icy Wind. So I do correctly shield up the Water Pulse. I'm going for the big Overheat now, and it lands. We're able to win the lead once again. Out comes the Hypno. Because I have a pretty solid response in the back being Alolan Muk, I'm once again just going to let them farm me down here. I need to guarantee that my Alolan Muk can get on this Hypno, and my Ninetales is able to get to a last second Weather Wall here, which is awesome. So at this point we're looking pretty good. In the back is a Nidoqueen, and this was very favorable alignment for us. This is where having Fire Punch is kind of nice because you at least get a hit for neutral. I've seen some people in the chat section of my Twitch streams ask what about Ice Punch on Hypno, and Ice Punch is nice pretty much just for these Nidoqueen matchups. You can still hit for super effective against the Flyers with Thunder Punch, and Fire Punch against those Ice types is pretty nice. So the Hypno is able to take me out, but my Alolan Muk will easily be able to clean up this game, and we're able to win that game there. Good game. One more battle with this team here. Blastoise lead, really bad for us. So we're going to go into Hypno on the safe swap, and my opponent responds with a Golbat. So this is still totally fine for my Hypno here. The confusions are just really chunking away at this Golbat. So I'm wondering if maybe my opponent misclicked, because they surely must have a better response to Hypno in the back. So this is where not having Ice Punch is unfortunate, right? Because against the Dragon types, you're only able to hit for resisted damage with the charge moves. So there's so many different charge move options for Hypno. Sometimes it's tough to decide, but we're still able to do some nice chip damage there. Now I end up bringing my Ninetales onto this Dragonair because I know that it's going to be stuck against the Blastoise anyways. So at this point, I need to land one Dark Pulse and then be able to try to farm them down to get to a move against that Dragonair. I'm going to throw this Dark Pulse before they get to that Hydro Cannon. I want to see where they want to spend their shield. They no-shield it, really nice play, because I'm still forced to shield this. And their Dragonair is going to be able to outpace me to moves here. So I farm them down. I go straight for the Acid Spray. I need this debuff as soon as possible so the Poison Jabs will really add up. But they're able to get to a last second Aqua Tail here. If I survive, that Poison Jab's going to KO, but they're able to knock me out, and then I barely don't get to that Weather Ball. Good game. Okay, the next team, we have like a double water strategy here. Alolan Marowak in the lead, and then Lapras and Blastoise in the back. I think Blastoise as the safe swap is so strong in this meta. When I was running Blastoise, I had Ice Beam on it, but honestly, I really think Skull Bash is the way to go in the Kanto Cup. So since I've been running Blastoise, I have since changed it to Skull Bash, but in these battles I was running Ice Beam. This Lapras matchup is totally fine for Blastoise if you can correctly shield up the Skull Bash. And with Alolan Marowak as well, there is a case to be made that you can run Fire Blast Shadow Bone instead of Bone Club. And it is really nice to have like a one-shot nuke potential against those normal types other than Lickitung. So I'm fully committing to the farm down with my Blastoise here. I have 100 energy, but I'm down 2 shields. Now Ice Beam will hit the Pidgeot for super effective, so I'm going to throw Hydro Cannon on this first move. And then Ice Beam. I'm only going to be able to get to 2 moves here. And they let the Ice Beam go through. It does hit for super effective. And then I'm able to bring out my Lapras. This Brave Bird is really gonna hurt here. But I'm hoping that my Marowak can clean up whatever they have in the back. Unfortunately, it's a Nidoqueen. If I still had a shield here, we'd be looking pretty good. But this Earth Power from a Shadow Nidoqueen is really going to do a lot of damage. It takes out my Alolan Marowak. Good game. I definitely got a little bit too greedy on that secondary matchup there. Oh my gosh. Shadow Kanto Sandslash. Really fun, spicy pick there. We have 2 better responses to it in the back, so I swap into my Lapras here. I know that Kanto Muk does have access to Thunder Punch, so we end up shielding that up. Going to throw a Surf here. Now, Kanto Muk is fairly bulky. It definitely can survive this Surf. In this particular team, I am using Shadow Lapras, but normal Lapras works just as fine. And some people even run Water Gun on their Lapras in this meta, and I think that is totally fine as well. Lapras is very versatile in the Kanto Cup. We're able to flip switch advantage there, but then this Nidoqueen comes out and is going to get a big farm. Have to go into my Marowak here, and I know that this Earth Power is really going to hurt. But I'm hoping that my Blastoise can clean up the back line here. They bring out the Shadow Kanto Sandslash. And this Earthquake is going to do a lot of damage. But I can't farm them down before they get to another move. I'm not able to generate enough energy. And they're going to be able to take this game. Really spicy team for my opponent. I'm showcasing these battles because it features a lot of different matchups. And it's cool to kind of see what teams my opponents were running as well. Okay, very favorable lead for us here. In the back is a Ninetales, and Blastoise running Water Gun is a very good response to this. Pretty much no Ninetales is running Solar Beam in this meta, so I can safely let that go through. I'm going to shield this Hydro Cannon because I don't want to get hit by any more chip damage from this Ninetales. And most likely they're going to bring out the Venusaur. Yes. Another example here, I guess, of where Ice Beam was nice, but grass types in Kanto Cup are just not super common. There's so many things that beat grass in this meta. I can easily no-shield whatever this is, and then we're looking pretty good for the end game. They have their own Marowak in the back, so I will stay in for just a little bit and try to burn some shields here. Gonna go for a Shadow Bone, hopefully on the CMP tie. And I was actually able to deny their move because of them switching out and them being one turn behind. So this was the CMP tie right there. Makes sense. I know that Lapras is going to be able to clean up this game for me. And because it's Shadow Lapras, Surf was going to be able to take that game there. Good game. All right, final team of the video here. Shadow Machamp, Lickitung, and then Alolan Muk again in the back. So if you don't have a Lickitung, you can get by with Snorlax. And honestly, Snorlax running Superpower has a lot of play against opposing normal types as well. So Snorlax is a good replacement if you don't have an XL Lickitung. If you don't have a Shadow Machamp, normal Machamp or Primeape is also a good option. But this team comp is fairly common. We've seen this style of team before where you have a fighter and then a normal type and then a poison type in the back, or something that's very good against Hypno or Charmers. So this is a pretty strong core of 3 here, and you can see Lickitung being able to get switch advantage here. And they are running a Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales, so once I discovered that, I knew that Machamp still has neutral play against this Alolan Ninetales. So at this point, I recognized that Alolan Muk was going to be able to have positive matchups against both of their Pokemon in the back, which is why I gave up switch advantage again. My Machamp was able to burn both shields there, really good for me. I have this Body Slam stored on my Lickitung, so I'm able to bring it in. And then they're forced to expend their energy, and at this point I know that my Alolan Muk can easily take out their Lickitung in the back there. In the zero shield scenario, this matchup is actually slightly favorable for Lickitung, which is absolutely insane to think about, just from the sheer amount of bulk. And Body Slam is a pretty solid charge move, pretty energy efficient move, and it gets stabbed because Lickitung being a normal type. So we are able to take this game, and Alolan Muk really having a lot of play in the back end there. GG. Okay, Shadow, Ninetales in the lead. Are they running Fire Spin or Ember? I don't know. They swapped out immediately into a normal Dragonite. So I'm just throwing straight Cross Chop here because this will still do some nice chip damage. I'm now going to bring out my Lickitung, and I'm hoping that I can potentially shield a big move and farm them all the way down. So I do call the big move of Outrage here. And energy on Lickitung is pretty useful. What do they bring in? If they bring in the Ninetales, we're looking okay. They do bring it in, and it is running Embers. So more fast move damage, slightly less energy generation than Fire Spin. Going to throw one Body Slam here, and then throw another Body Slam in the middle of the Ember. And hoping that I can potentially get to one more Body Slam here. They're farming up a lot, and fire damage, if there's no water type in the back, really has a lot of places to go. So this is getting a little bit scary for my backline here. I'm going to have to let this go, and I'm wondering if this is a double Dragon team, so potentially Dragonair in the back. Going to bring out my Machamp, and I end up sacrificing it here. It's Weather Ball, but that's still enough to knock me out. It is a Dragonair in the back. I have to let this Aqua Tail go because the damage from Ninetales is going to be much more threatening. I farm up a little bit extra there, hoping that I could potentially get to an Acid Spray against that Ninetales. But they have a lot of energy. I'm able to get to this Acid Spray. And they need back-to-back Weather Balls to knock me out here. And that Poison Jab is barely able to knock them out, and we're able to take that game. Good game. Machamp into Alolan Marowak. Very bad, but we have 2 better responses to this. I go into Lickitung, and out comes a Wigglytuff. But they were kind of slow to the response here. So normally Wigglytuff is a good response to a Lickitung safe swap. But as you will see in this particular matchup, because they were a little bit slower to the response, if you can get to 3 Body Slams here, you can force a shield off of the Wigglytuff, which is really, really great. So I'm recognizing that I can potentially flip switch advantage here. Gonna shield that up and then throw this Body Slam. And if they shield, I have a feeling that I can get to 1 more Body Slam, just barely, able to barely get there again because they were slow to the swap. So we are able to get both shields off of that Wigglytuff, and then I know that one counter, I actually end up going into a Alolan Muk here. hoping that this will be able to win the back end here. Because shields are down, I know that I can get to this rock slide against the Alolan Marowak, and Shadow Machamp is easily going to be able to take that Alolan Raticate out in the late game here. So 3 different team comps to potentially try out. There's a lot of viable Pokemon in the Kanto Cup, and the meta is kind of wild. Stay tuned for some upcoming videos where I run some other teams in Kanto Cup. But thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate the content, and I'll catch you all in the next video.